So talk a little bit about that in terms of what you think. What do you think that turns into? What does the laundromat industry turn into? How are you setting up for that?
Well, look, I think obviously self-service will always exist, but wash, dry, fold, pickup and delivery, commercial accounts, subscription laundry services. That's really where the industry is going, because we saw it the first time that our pickup and delivery service outpaced our self-service walk-in business. Light bulb, right? Mm-hmm. You got to think about that. And a lot of the older laundromat owners don't really rely on KPIs, right? Let's start key performance indicators, right? They're not worried about, okay, how many people walked in today? Which washing machine did they use? How did they pay? And now that we have their data, right? How many times a week do they come in? How many times a month do they come in? What average pounded washing machine are they using? Because now we can project our own income. The data, people think that the power is in the quarter, and the quarter is going away. The power is in the data. Because now when people can tap to pay, you give them, the mobile app, they got the loyalty rewards, maybe you're doing some kind of dynamic pricing that we're testing out right now, and they can remotely monitor, okay, my washing, because they can see all this on the app for my laundromat. Okay, my favorite washer number 8 is open. Let me go ahead and go up here. Or okay, I got 30 minutes left. I can go run to the store and come back, and they can keep an eye. They can keep an eye on. Okay, my load's almost done. Let me head back. Or I got 15 more minutes to dry. Let me stop and grab some Chipotle on my way back to the laundromat. This is where we're going, people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think you see it in other spaces, right? That there's going to be this mix of people who just want you to do it for them. There's going to be people who just want to be able to do it themselves, but they don't want to have to stay at the laundromat the whole time, which is kind of what you're talking about, right? Like, when you think about kind of maybe where your thinking has changed from the moment that you sat down with Linda, the person selling you the first laundromat, and where you are today as you look into and evaluate additional store opportunities and where you are in the business, how has your perspective of this business changed?
Wow, that's a great question, Matt. How has my perspective? I just thought that this was the good old-fashioned neighborhood laundromat, when this is a huge, huge opportunity right now, especially at the point where we're in, where the transition is happening. I feel like we are almost in like the real estate boom right now, as far as laundromats, and the word hasn't got out yet.
Yeah,
it's still like early. When was the boom? And let's say we're still like early, like 1999, before the real estate boom happened, right? Before houses went skyrocket, right? Yeah. And I think we're right at the cusp of the beginning. We're like Avon if you got in early. No. If you got in early on Amway, this is where we at right now, right?
We could still get that car. It's still up.
Yeah,
there.
We buying Microsoft stock at $1.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, because look, these stores produce constant cash flow, but no one's ever harnessed the data that goes with them. What do you think Instagram and Facebook and all these other, YouTube all run off of? What do you think why Facebook is worth billions of dollars? It's the data. And if you can now control the data and predict what your clients are going to do, that's a solid business plan to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it gives you all kinds of levers that you can then pull to help get your business where you want it to be, right? You're like, okay, well, like we were saying, I know Joe comes in on Tuesdays. He uses his machine number 8. He really doesn't like to come in afternoon. So guess what? Tuesdays at about 9:15, maybe I need to be sending Joe a message in the app, giving him a little bit of an alert. Say, hey, 8's open. You ready to rock and roll or what? And so you start to change that
See
customer
the power of that, Matt? You see the power of that? Where we can text the customer, say he comes in at 2. We text him at 1:30. Hey, Mr. Washer, your machine's open now. Come on down. We'll give you an extra $1 credit on your laundry card. See the power of that? And that's just right off the top of your head.
Oh, I mean, I think we are living in a time when it's not enough anymore just to like get clean clothes, right? Like, okay, great. Like, I expect if I go to a laundromat and I wash my clothes, they're going to come out clean. And if I put them in the dryer, they're going to be dry when they're done. And that's like brass tacks. Like, you got to do that stuff. I think the evolution is that customers today are looking for so much more. And you know, I don't know if it is because we've had the experience of like a Chick-fil-A, or, you know, you see all these companies that have been trying to elevate their service side. You know, you think about how Disney operates. All of these things have kind of come together to say, hey, customer, you deserve more, you deserve better. So that's what we're dealing with in this business, right? Like, that's the kind of customer that's walking in our doors, and we got to fulfill on those expectations. Even if we're not ready for it, they're still expected for us.
Look, it all boils down to, and I'll say it loud for the people in the back, the customer experience. Everybody's heard that word thrown around, but it is so important, especially now. Because look, when we bought our first laundromat, was AI a thing 4 years ago? Absolutely not. Nobody knew what a chat GPT was. But now, even the most, average person can take their information and put it in there to help improve their business if they don't know how, without having to hire an expert, which I think raises the bar for everybody. Or it should, right? I mean, once you can control and understand your data, like dropping your gas bills and your water bills and all that stuff into AI, along with like your maintenance costs, and understand exactly how much each turn of a machine costs you, and then be able to say, okay, now give it, what price should I price this machine at? Give me a 35% profit. You could never get that close before. It didn't count the therms, it didn't gas, it didn't count the gallons of water, but you can do all of this now with AI. I mean, predict machine maintenance, AI customer support. Like, if you call my laundromat 24 hours a day, we have an AI bot that answers you and answers all your questions. Tells you what our hours are, where we're located, we'll give you pricing, we'll tell you, the types of machines we have, how many we have, who's on staff the following day. It gives you everything. There's not a question that you can ask it that it doesn't have an answer to. But if it does happen, it then transfers you over to a live person. So, all this stuff is super important. Automated marketing. How is everybody not automating their marketing right now? Especially, how many times a day is somebody crushing some damn candy on their phone? But we're running ads that show up while you're crushing your candy if you come inside of our geo fence.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to get the people at the apartments, the people at the dollar store, the people that are in other laundromats in my immediate area. Right? And then, just like, how do I want to compare this to everyone? On hotels, we're doing dynamic pricing. Look, our prices are lower on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's our slow day. But on Friday through Monday, price is a little bit more. Not that you're going to be able to know the difference, because it might only be 10 cents or 20 cents, but it's more, because that's the day that we can drive our ROI. And so on the days that we are slower, on the Tuesdays and the Wednesdays, it evens out our week. So we stay at plateau where we need to be at.